Greetings and welcome to this week's edition of 401k Real Talk. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor at wealthmanagement.com's RPA Omnichannel and CEO at Trow, TPSU, and 401k TV. I review all of last week's stories and select the most important and interesting ones, providing open, honest, and candid discussion you will not get anywhere else. So let's get real. First story, while 401k plans continue to attract critics, the DC system is booming with assets increasing. According to the latest ICI report, overall retirement assets grew almost 8% in the last quarter of 2023, reaching $38.4 trillion, led by 401k plans, which is still down from their peak of $39.7 trillion in 2021. Participant-directed assets grew the fastest, with IRAs now at $13.6 trillion, up 7% in the past quarter, and DC plans at $10.6 trillion, up 8.5%. 401k plans grew 9.3%, reaching $7.4 trillion. Meanwhile, DB plans and annuity reserves were just $5.6 trillion, growing much slower than DC assets. There is $4.6 trillion in unfunded liabilities, mostly by state plans, not private ones. And while market gains have accounted for much of the growth, the state of participant-directed, especially payroll-deducted plans, is strong and growing. And even with an estimated $800 billion rolling out of DC plans into IRAs annually, those same plans grew faster. Expect continued growth as the small market explodes due to state mandates, tax credits, and PEPs. Next story, as expected, the DOL sent their fiduciary rule published November 3rd, 2023 to the OMB after a 60-day comment period, with the final rule expected to be published and effective within the next 90 days, with the applicable date later. Just like previous DOL rules, it is expected to be contested in court, led by insurance or brokerage industries, which claim the rule will limit investors' access to retirement guidance and products. And though a new administration may not be able to annul the rule, just like with the previous iteration, it may also choose not to defend it in court. Meanwhile, the pending Supreme Court Chevron case, which would limit agencies' rulemaking authority, could further emasculate the DOL rule. Next story. In anticipation of the new DOL rule, the CFP commissioned USC to conduct a study with U.S. investors about their beliefs regarding their financial advisors. The results were overwhelming, with 97% expecting their advisor to act in their best interest, even if it is a one-time engagement, like the decision of whether to roll over DC assets. Of the 736 respondents, 9 in 10 assume that their advisor is required to act in their best interest. While the retirement industry is strongly in favor of the DOL fiduciary rule, as is, it seems, everyday investors, there are other sectors of the financial services industry and the public that are not. Next story, in a must-read column, AppTrust outlines how the evolving record-keeping industry has changed the roles for retirement plan advisors. Convergence, or the drive to serve and monetize participants, has changed the business models for many providers, leading to massive industry consolidation, which will be accelerated if PEPs take off law, further limiting the number of opportunities for record keepers. In addition, massive investments in technology, driven in part by concerns about cybersecurity and safeguarding participant data, will result in even more industry consolidation. As a result, the role of the plan advisor is evolving beyond the triple Fs, not just to align with those providers most likely to survive, but to also analyze the growing number of participant services offered by record keepers, helping clients select the right ones for the plan and their employees, as well as uncovering all provider fees and revenue sources. The DC world is changing. CapTrust outlines how advisors need to evolve as a result. Finally, as the convergence of wealth, retirement, and benefit gains momentum, so will the potential for conflict with providers, advisors, plan sponsors, and broker-dealers, at times at different sides of some issues. The fundamental driver of conflict within DC plans is the fact that buyers are not the principal users. It's obvious that plan sponsors should not give record-keeping mandates to their bank in exchange for lower interest rates on their line of credit, but there are more subtle issues like using the provider's target date funds to lower record-keeping costs. Read my latest wealthmanagement.com column about not how to eliminate conflict, but how to better manage it while being transparent, squashing the most egregious instances. So those were the most important stories in the past week. I listed a few other stories I thought were worth reading, covering how starter 401k plans compare to other options for small businesses. The father of 401k offers new ways to help people save. Fidelity study provides an overview of the state of retirement planning, and PEP still struggle to achieve cost savings. Please let me know if I missed anything or if you'd like to comment. Otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you next week on 401k Real Talk.